from the Scott County Public Library in Georgetown, Kentucky. Thanks for joining me today. It's Panda Day, and I have got some great panda books out here. And of course, we have lots of panda books here at the Scott County Library. Some of my favorites are How Many, Baby Panda? And of course, Panda Kindergarten. So if you love pandas, rest assured we have tons of fabulous panda books here at the Scott County Library. And so now, are you ready to do our panda mask craft? I've got my friend the polar bear wearing her panda mask. She's just hiding behind her mask. She's so cute. And now you can buy panda masks from places like Oriental Trading and things, and that's where we got this mask here. It's a foam mask. If you have foam sheets at home, especially white, black, and gray, you can make your panda mask out of these lightweight foam sheets. If you don't have foam sheets at home, you can use plain old construction paper or cardstock. Now, if you're using construction paper and it's kind of lightweight, you might want to take two pieces and glue them together to give it a little bit more heft, and that way it'll be less likely to rip. Because when you go to put the string or the rubber bands on it, you're going to use your hole punch to punch a hole in, and you don't want your string to pull through while you're wearing your mask. So first, let's go through all the supplies you're going to need to make a panda mask. In addition to your thicker white paper, you'll probably need some black markers to make the black accents around the ears and the eyes and the nose. You'll need your glue stick, your hole punch, of course. You'll need some scissors or an adult to help you cut out your different parts, especially the eye holes. And to make the eye holes, Miss Rosie has a trick. Grab yourself a quarter, because a quarter is the same size as the eye hole for this mask. And if you trace it, voila, you have an eye hole. Another trick, you're probably wondering, why do I have my icebreaker mints here? It's because I needed to trace a shape for the ears. And the ears is about 3/4 of a box of mints. So look around your house and see if you can find a little 3-inch circle shape you can trace. Maybe it's a water bottle or a sippy cup that you've got from someone. Maybe it's a box of mints. Maybe it's something else that's round around your house. A lid from a tomato sauce jar might work well too. And also, if you find a quarter, that will help you make perfectly round eye holes for your panda mask for their cute little faces. All right, the other things you're gonna need is, if you want to decorate your mask, like our mask here has a big pink flower for our little girl panda, and this guy, I put a little blue and yellow hat on him out of construction paper, and then later on I'm gonna stick on some feathers to make him an extra fancy panda mask. See that? So if you have glitter glue, or maybe some feathers, or some sparkly gemstones, or maybe you want to put a little fake crown on your mask and make him a princess panda, you can do that with scraps of construction paper and cardstock and all sorts of fun things you have at home. Now, the first thing we need to do is to make that panda face shape. And you can see that this panda face shape starts out like a blank white piece of paper. And if you take off the ears, you'll see that it kind of looks like a lima bean. A big, fat, wide lima bean. Or some may say, I had a little boy once tell me it looks like his game controller, only puffier and made of marshmallows. So the first thing you need to do is kind of draw this lima bean shape. And of course, this part here is for your nose. So now I made mine to fit my face. You may need to make your nose a little higher, because you have a smaller face, you'll need to have it a little higher. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is, and it's trial and error, get a pencil so you can erase some marks. Use a light colored pencil. I might use an orange or a yellow if I was doing it at home, but so you can see it on the camera, I'm gonna try and find a nice dark color. Here I've got a nice dark green. So the first thing you're gonna do is kind of draw this lima bean shape. Now you can start with a big oversized circle and then draw in this wave shape to cut off the bottom of the circle. So let's try that first. And it's okay if you make it too big, you can always cut it down smaller, okay? So make it bigger if you can, because you can't really, it's harder to make something that's tiny bigger, but if you make it bigger, you can always cut it down. So we'll first start out by kind of making this arched oval shape. So there we go. I just drew a big, kind of not so even shape there. And then I'm going to connect it on the bottom with a wave to make my lima bean. Do you see that? Oh, and also if any of your parents have a sleep mask, and you can kind of take that shape and enlarge it as well. That's a good thing to trace if you have a sleep mask at home. That's kind of the shape. That would be a fun thing to trace. Now, right now, it kind of looks like a lily pad that a frog might sit on, right? So I'm gonna make this a little bit darker so you all can see it on the computer screen or your TV screen or your phone screen. And so you can see it's not perfect. We can always flip it over when we're doing our final part. So there is our start. So that is the start of our panda mask shape. And now, what is the one thing we're missing from this? We're missing the ears. Now you can either attach ears with a separate piece of paper on here, or you can draw them in with your circle shape. So I'm just going to move my box up to the top of my paper here, and I'm gonna push it off to the side in a good ear spot and give it a little trace. And then I'm gonna go to the other side and find a similar spot on his head or her head and give it a little trace. And there are my ears. Now, if you want your ears to be a little bit more squared off like a pan instead of perfectly round, you can go ahead in with your pencil and just kind of smooth out that circle to a more ear shape for a bear, okay? So there it is. And now the nose on my little guy here is actually an oval piece of paper that I have glued on. So don't worry about drawing in your nose. That is a piece of paper I've glued on. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put the inserts in the ears. So you're gonna take your pencil and let's draw in the inside of the ear. Can y'all do that? And I'll show you how I did that. There you go. I've drawn in the inside of my ears. All right, and now the next part is gonna be a little tricky. I want you to look at the mask that I made, and you see where the nose is? This circle and this circle are about 1.5 inches apart. So if you have your mask on your face, your eyes need to see through it at about 1.5 inches apart. So 1.5 inches is about 2 sections of your finger, the first and second section of your finger. So if you find the middle right above your nose, right here, you're gonna have an eye here and an eye 2 sections of your finger away right there, okay? So you're gonna grab your quarter, get that quarter up here, and we're gonna trace it nice and dark so you can see it. And I'm gonna do 2 sections of my finger and trace the other one. There we go. I've traced my quarters. Do you see that? All right. Now, we've got the eyes on, and you can kind of test it. So what you can do is you can put it up against your face, put your fingers, or have someone put their fingers where the eyes are and see if that matches up with your eyeballs, because that's important to be able to see through your mask, right? All right, now that we've got that part going, now we need to draw the traditional black panda eyes. Do you see that? So that when you wear it, you've got your panda eyes. Now, do you know what an egg is? You know that egg shape from, it's kind of not perfect oval, not a round. It's that egg shape. If you need to get an egg from the fridge as a sample, that might help too. You're going to draw your egg shape around that eye hole at an angle. Do you see how it's not straight up and down? It's at an angle so that you can get that nose on, all right? So do your very best, and it's okay if it takes a couple of tries, and you want the black circle to be closer to the eye by the nose and much farther away on the outside. Can you see that? All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and draw mine on, and hopefully you'll be able to see what I mean. All right, I've got them drawn in. They're not perfect, but that's okay because we're not perfect, right? Now, what does that look like? If you eat fried eggs, that's exactly what it looks like. And since I did it in green pencil, it kind of looks like green eggs, like green eggs and ham from Dr. Seuss, right? So there is my eye circles. Got it? All right. Now on mine, I took a piece of black paper and cut out a little oval for my nose. If you don't want to cut out a circle and you just want to draw it, you can see on this mask, they just put a little bit of black above the nose. They just colored it on just above the nose part. So once you get to this section here, now you can start coloring. So the first thing I like to do is color in all the black. And if you want to color the inside of the ears gray, you can do that. You can also add a little pink, maybe they have a little pink in there as well. So you would take your marker, if you have big, thick, permanent markers, or maybe you have a friend that can help you or a family member that can help you get some of this coloring done. It's a lot of coloring. So Miss Rosie is gonna do the outlines quickly to show you what it looks like once you start coloring, okay? And so as you're getting your parts outlined so you know where to stop and stay in the lines, staying in the lines is important here because it'll look nice and neat on your face if you have it in the lines. The final thing you're gonna do before you wear your mask, after you color it, is you're gonna have a big person help you punch out and cut out your circles where you drew with the quarters, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and draw in all my parts with my permanent black marker. You can kind of see it taking shape. And this is a fun mask. Now, Panda Day, do you know what Chinese pandas eat? What is the food of the Chinese panda? You see them on TV and sometimes on videos. They're eating this big, long, sticky looking thing. And it's green with leaves. What's that called? Do you know? It's called bamboo. That's right. It's bamboo. Pandas eat hundreds and hundreds of pounds of bamboo every week. It is their absolutely favorite food. And they need to eat a lot of it because it's not that very nutritious. You know how mom and dad and everybody says eat your vegetables and your meat and your fruits? It's for good nutrition. Well, they get a lot of nutrition from that bamboo, but they've got to eat a lot of it to do it. Now, Chinese pandas are native to China, and they love a good snowfall. If you have not seen the videos going around on social media of the Chinese pandas toppling over a snowman and trying to get in the snow and play, it is absolutely adorable. If you can have a big person, a grown-up, find that for you online to watch. There's some great videos also. If you haven't seen it, there are live panda cams. Panda cams are cameras in the zoos where pandas are living, and they have them on for people like you and me to watch when they are out having fun and eating at the zoo. And it's called a panda cam. So you can go online with a big person and have them find a good panda cam, maybe from one like the San Francisco Zoo has a lot of great panda cams, and some of the zoos in China as well. So panda cams are a super fun way to see a panda bear live and in action. They are so much fun. So here I am, I'm starting to color in my mask. Do you see that? I'm almost got one eye done. Now, if you are extra crafty and you don't want to use markers or crayons to color in the parts that are black, there is another alternative for you to use black paper. So instead of drawing the circles for around the eyes, you would cut that shape out of black paper and put it down and flip it over and trace the eye out with the quarter so that you can cut the eye hole out of the black paper before you secure it to your panda mask. Okay, here we go. It's getting there, huh? We're almost done. I'm getting there, almost done. So once you have all these parts colored in, and I'm going to just quickly, I should have colored half of this before I started, right? That would have been easier. Once you get that all colored in, you're going to have to cut out the eye holes for you to see through. So I'm going to go ahead and do that part next without finishing coloring this. But what I will do is very carefully, either with a pencil or with a scissor, if you just punch a hole in the center of that eye hole, then you can go ahead and get your scissor inside. And once your scissors is inside, you can cut around that hole really carefully and get help if you need help. Oops, my paper is blowing away in the wind. I'm going to cut that eye hole out. There you go. You can see there's my eye hole there. All right. And then you'll do the same to the other side. Then you're going to cut your mask out around the whole thing. I'm going to do a quick cut out here. And this is a good way to practice your scissoring on rounded shapes. If you are not very good on rounded shapes, you can learn to cut by moving your paper and keeping your scissors still. So see, my scissoring hand stays still, and I'm moving my non-scissoring hand with the paper in it to go around and around. So here we are. I've got it mostly cut out. I've got to cut out the top here. We'll do that quickly. 1, 2 cuts, and 3. So I've got it cut out. Now is the time for that hole punch. You're going to go in on either side, just about where the middle of the eye would be, and put a hole about 1/2 inch. Oops, if I can just get that in there. In from there. So here we go. 1, and we're going to do it right here. 2. So there you have your holes to put your elastic or your string on. Now you can use yarn and tie it around that way. The other way you can do it, if you've never seen this, is with rubber bands. Just like you're wearing your protective mask today around your ears, you can put a rubber band on and hook that around your ears to hold your mask on. It's super fast and simple, and all you have to do is this. Watch this. You're going to take your 2 rubber bands, you see that? You're going to take 1 rubber band and put it through the other one. Do you see that? And then you're going to take the end of that rubber band and pull it through so that they're linked together kind of with a slip knot. And there you have 2 of them together, right? So then you can do the same thing through the hole in your mask. You're going to put it in there. Pull it through. Here is your other end. We're going to pull that through, and now it's attached to my Panda mask, and I can put my Panda mask on over my ear. All right. So now also we need a little nose on this guy. If you want, let me show you what you can do to color in a nose. You just make a little arch of black marker, and I'll give it a quick color in so you can see how different it looks once you get that nose on. You need your nose on your panda. Otherwise, how is your panda gonna sniff and smell? So there is your panda nose. So here we are. And like I said, if you wanted to just get a piece of paper and cut out a nose shape, it would kind of be like this. Take some paper here, and you're just gonna make a little nose shape like that. And you can glue that on as your nose, okay? Now, final touches. Maybe you want your panda to have a hat. Maybe you want your panda to have a flower, like our little panda girl does here. So you can now decorate something on their head. So I don't know, maybe I'll grab some red here and make a little hat band out of this piece of red that I have left over. We'll just cut a chunk of that off. Here we go. And I'm going to glue that on with my fancy glue stick. All right. And then we need the top part of the hat. So we'll make that one a little bit different size there. All right, and maybe I'll put a band of yellow across the middle of the hat there. Do something like this. Go. Like that. All right, now my panda officially has a little red hat. And like I said before, if you've got some gemstones, some sticky gems, or some feathers, you can add that to your hat as well to make them a very happy panda. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and that you have fun on Panda Day. Check out some of those panda cams with your families if you can. Otherwise, don't forget to check out all these great books we have here at the Scott County Public Library. Pandas are just the most adorable little animals, and I am so glad that you can join me today for this panda craft. Happy National Panda Day from me, Miss Rosie, at the Scott County Public Library, and I'll see you hopefully online or here at the library. Take care, everybody.